Hi, welcome to Soul Searching Tarot. My name is Leonore, and welcome. I would like to do something different today. So, for those who have been following me for a little bit, you know I don't do stuff like this. I'm going to do pick a card today. I wanted to do something fun and fast, and I already picked out the cards. The pick a card today. I didn't know what to do at first. I decided to just do something simple. In my eyes, it was a simple question, and the question is, what advice does your source have for you? What advice or guide do they want you to take? I don't know what your source is. I could simply say the universe, your God, your ancestor that has passed, your spirit guide, whatever your source is, even your heart is your spirit, you know, that is your soul. Whatever you go by, I want for the collective that are watching me to pick a card, pick a deck, a pile. I have pile number 1, pile number 2. They're shells, actually. I'll show you the shells. I think I picked these shells when I was in Florida. Sorry, like the glare is like a little crazy. Sorry if I'm blinding you somehow with this bright white shell. The other one is not so bright, but it's still cute. God, I'm so sorry about the glare. Geez, I'm just like moving it all over the place. Just the feel of these are like wonderful. Maybe you could see them a little bit more closer to me. There you go. Yes, my brooch. All right, so this is a little like, well, let me start with pile number 1. The shell for pile number 1 is pretty smooth and soft. You know, it's like an eggshell color. Very cute. I've had this shell for years, actually. I love picking shells. My son and I always like to pick shells from the beach. He likes to pick broken ones, and I'm like, no, we're not taking that one home. This one's a little rough on the outside. It's like a grayish, whitish color. Well, I only have 2 piles. I picked 3 decks. So there's the American Indian deck, tarot deck card, the African American. I picked those 2 cards specifically because they have a lot of culture inside of these tarot cards, a lot of, you know, regional culture. And then my last card is definitely my advice card. Well, not my advice card, but it is one of the tarot card decks that I have if anybody ever wants advice. I like to pick from the Animal Tarot deck card. Let's see. All right, so I have my little books just in case I need to clarify anything, but they have clarifiers. They should have clarifiers. You know how I love to clarify. All right, so again, pick a card. What advice does your source want you to take? What guide do they want you to go by? If you do need to hear any type of advice, or if you're wanting to hear any type of you know, just like give me a sign, you know, like, you know how people are like, just God, please give me a sign. Or whoever you speak to, that's your source. This is it. Okay, this is it. I hope that it resonates with you. So I'll give you a moment to pick either pile number 1, which is the shell, the egg white color type of shell, or eggshell color. That's what they call it. No wonder they call it eggshell color, because it does look does look like that color. Pile number 2, which is like the grayish color. I'll just meditate a little bit on it while I talk. I will timestamp them. So you'll see in the description box pile number 1, pile number 2. So they will be time stamped. And also my email if you need to reach me for any questions. If you want to have a reading, I'm doing them now for free. My email will be there. You could definitely look at my Instagrams and Facebook pages for Soul Searching Tarot. They have been up and running. All right, you ready? I'm going to start with pile number 1. Okay. So what advice does your source want you to take? You ready? Okay. Jesus. This one has some type of advice for you. I'm kind of happy, but let's see if it's good advice. Okay. It's going to be good advice no matter what. So whether you want to hear it or not, it's the advice they want you to take. All right. So in the Native American Indian cards, I don't know why I was mistaken that. It's Native American. All right. I have the Judgment card. I have to find a way so you guys don't get blind alongside with me to like have you look at this card. Sorry guys, I'm adjusting the light while I'm doing my reading. Okay. That's a Judgment card. So for Native Americans, the buffalo is a spirit guide. Now the Judgment card is a major arcana, right? 20. It's a number 20, if that means anything to anybody. And this man, and it could be a woman, masculine, feminine energy, doesn't matter. So if I say man, woman, whatever, it doesn't mean that I'm speaking to that specific gender. It's just energy. He's being looked after, this buffalo. Okay. I have the 5 of Wands. So the 5 of Wands usually means conflict. The Native American cards are really hard to read for those who are like not into tarot decks, or maybe they are, but they're not used to this type of imagery. But there's no conflict in this 5 of Wands cards. But it looks like a conflict that did happen, and this Indian here, right here, this Native American Indian, is trying to heal these 2 wounded soldiers or warriors, right? It's almost like an energy after the conflict happened. Then we have the Death card. All right, so this is the Death card. You see this Native American sitting by himself, but this imagery right here is a spirit. It almost looks like this spirit right here is meant to suck the soul out of this person, whether that may be good or bad. The fact that it came out with the Judgment, we'll find out. The Judgment card, by the way, is like, it could be about timing. It could be about, it's basically your source is ready for you to be judged. And that doesn't mean that you might have done something wrong in life, where you're going to be judged today. Today's Judgment Day. However, don't get me wrong. it could mean that way, especially with the death card. But it also could mean that you may be putting away something aside, and that your source is helping you clean up that mess for you. You know, it's almost like your source is coming to clean up whatever 501s, whatever conflict, whatever negative energy or situation or partner or family, whatever, job. It's almost like the Judgment card and the Death card are here to literally clean that mess up for you. Now, the Judgment card and the Death card represent Scorpio, Pluto. Pluto is in Capricorn. That, if that means anything to anybody, you could watch. I have a video on Pluto being in the sign of Capricorn. That means a lot, actually. It's the universe talking. This is the Three of Cups. It's this crow literally screaming at the top of its vocal cords, whatever it is that those crows have. And it's like, it's the sound that they're screaming, like this sound, it's like vibrating. And I don't see if you could see the vibration, like the scream. You see like that imagery coming out of the beak, like it's so powerful, like this yell, this scream. You know, it's not, definitely not no chirping. They're not chirping in this card. It's like, it's a type of sound that vibrates. You know how you like, I don't know if you're seeing in movies or if this happened to you, where I remember I was laying down in bed once and I heard the most scariest sound in my life. I can't even describe it. It's a sound I never heard before in my entire life. And I just stood in my bed still. I was definitely scared because it's a sound that I've never heard before. Come to find out, a tree had fallen in my backyard. So it fell in my backyard, but it didn't hit, thank God, no houses. It just landed on somebody else's yard. But the crack of that old tree, that sound, that thunderous sound, it's like thunderous. It's like a thunderous sound. That you don't hear that every day or once a year. I mean, unless you work for a lumber company, you just don't hear that sound. It's a beautiful sound to hear, but at the same time, it gives you chills. That's the word I'm looking for, like that chill. Like, oh my God, what was that? And should I be scared? And am I still alive? Because it's that powerful a sound. All right, so I'm going to see what's going on here. So just give me a moment. Interesting. Okay. Wow. Take this as it resonates, okay? There's someone, or maybe more than someone, could be a couple of people, maybe more, in your energy field right now. I don't know who that person may be. You probably, I feel like source is telling me that you already know who it is, or group of people that are talking so much shizit behind your back. And I feel like you already know this. Like, I feel like you sense the competition, the jealousy. And the fact that in the African American cards, the 4 cups came out. You see this little boy with the lion cub? They're eating from a carcass. And all those cups are spilled, right? They're like all spilled on the ground. And that's what the 4 cups mean. It's usually like, you know, the traditional tarot decks, it's a sad person underneath a tree with these 3 cups on the ground, but the universe is giving them 1 cup, but they're not looking at that 1 cup, they're looking at the 3 cups spilled on the floor. They're like so consumed with the 3 cups on the ground, tilted over, just like you see on this picture, in this picture. And then that 1 cup that the universe is like trying to show them and send them or whatever, they're not looking at it. They're like so consumed with that energy, that negative energy, that in their feelings sad energy, that they're not looking at the blessing that's behind them. And I feel like that's what's going on with you. It's like this, I don't know if you could see it, but that 1 cup still has that milk didn't dry up yet. So that's why I'm kind of comparing it with the traditional tarot card deck for the 4 cups. But they're eating from a carcass. They're sharing food. So whoever you're sharing food, and I mean that in a very loose way, like whoever you're partying with or, you know, having meals with, could be really as simple as that. But people who are very close to you or somewhat close to you, they have a lot of jealousy towards you. And so universe wants you to know, this is the advice card. This is the Fool card. This is the 3rd major arcana already in this pile. Sorry, and then I have to like keep moving it. It's called the Dreamer in my Animal Tarot deck card. Okay, and I'm going to read a little bit about it. But on the card it says, you are starting a new adventure. Run free and take a leap of faith. I'm going to go a little bit into it, and then I'm going to do part 2 for those who picked pile 2. So the Fool is the 1st major arcana in every deck, basically in every tarot deck. It says, the tiny shepherd, which is what you see right here. The tiny shepherd asks you to see the world through the eyes of a puppy, full of newness, excitement, and endless possibilities. Bravely venturing out with healthy curiosity is second nature to you. So don't wait. Go see what amazing things life has in store. All options are open to you. Believe in your abilities. Be pure in your intentions. Find your joy and then run with it. This card can also indicate unexpected opportunities. All right, so they always describe the spirit animal because that's what they are. They're like spirit animals. Shepherds are among the Shepherds are among the most intelligent dog breeds with natural tracking skills that allow them to sniff out exciting opportunities. They can shepherd situations and people toward a common goal. It doesn't matter if they don't know how to do something because they will figure it out fast. Very quick learners, these dogs want you to follow their lead. If you just trust in the divine and do your best to make life fun, then the rest will work itself out. All right. So that's for pile number 1. Hope that resonated with you. Let me know in the comments. I could do a private reading if it didn't, or if it did, you'll definitely, most likely will contact me, right? All right, whatever. If it didn't, thank you for joining me anyway. If it did, take that advice because this is coming from your source. All right, so I'm going to do part 2, and I'm going to read pile number 2 for those who picked pile number 2, okay? All right, thank you. Bye.